Coming up on the Horse Tamer with Pat Pirelli.
I've seen many horses tell the trainer, you jump it. My little saying is when they act like an ass, let them eat grass. Well, you know why cowboys like dachshunds? They wanted to get a long little doggy. I can only imagine what it would take to ride him when he gets scared.
Yes.
Now, I'm not made out of rubber anymore.
I'm Pat Pirelli, and I have loved horses for as long as I can remember.
We don't want our horses to be afraid.
Since 1982, I've been sharing my knowledge to make the world a better place for horses and the humans that love them. My name is Pat Pirelli.
Remember, keep it natural.
But you can call me the Horse Tamer.
Pat got a call from an old friend this week. Candace King is a celebrated show jumper who has been competing in professional events all over the world since 1989. She is now training both horses and riders who want to learn her sport. One of her clients asked for help with Harley, a very nervous 8-year-old warm blood who is now simply refusing to jump. Candace has been working with Harley for a couple of weeks, but has not been able to get to the root of Harley's emotional reactions. She suspects that Harley needs some work on his foundation training, so she called Pat. Harley is a very talented horse who clearly needs help with his confidence. Candace hopes that Pat can point them both in the right direction to get Harley back on track.
This is Harley. He's very sweet, but very nervous.
You know, I've found out over the years, horses aren't necessarily afraid of predators like bears and lions. They're afraid of predatory behavior.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to approach this situation with something I call long body logic. Horses have long bodies. People have tall bodies. And so this evokes us to think like a pedestrian. And so you see somebody who's thinking like a pedestrian, they hold the horse up close, trying to hold it, and the horse goes around them because this big, long body's got these 5 zones. The head is zone 1, the neck is zone 2. We sit in zone 3, the hips are zone 4, and the tail is zone 5. And whether we're on the ground or in the saddle, we have to learn how to use long body logic with our hands, with our legs, with our seat, and maybe even a stick, so that we are always talking to each individual zone and in combination. This is what brings out the real natural magic with people who are really good with horses, long body logic. So I'm just gonna put some gloves on. The reason I'm doing this is because when we start moving, asking him to move, I'm gonna allow the rope to run through my hands.
Yes.
Allow him to drift away and go do wherever he wants. But at the same time, I want to not burn my hands. All right, so here's what I'd like you to do.
Yep.
I've got a chair sitting there for you.
Okay.
If you'll sit there, and then I'll ask you a few comments or questions as we go along, and we'll see kind of what's what. So I like the fact that he's curious, because curiosity is a good learning modality. Apprehension, fear is not. So what I want him to do is go, this is funny, this is interesting, what are we doing? All right, so I'm gonna do is first of all, walk away from him, and I'm gonna give him as long a rope as he wants. So like here, he's putting his head down, I can just feel it. Okay, and I'm not gonna do too much about it like that. I'm just gonna kind of put a feel on that rope, gather it up. See, I'm not even looking back there. These are some things right here that'll help him realize that we're connected. Now, to get his head up, I'm just gonna put a little jump rope action into that, interrupt him a little bit. And a lot of people, when they try to get a horse used to something, they use what's called approach and retreat. And what I have found over the last 4 decades is that retreat and approach works better. So the fact that I'm just walking around here, see how long that rope is, just not making a big deal out of it, at the same time managing my rope, and just go around here and see what he thinks. But I'm just letting him know that right off the bat, I'm the leader, okay? And for him to follow.
Thumper, come on. Come on.
Some more long body logic.
He's got a long body.
He does. Well, you know why cowboys like dachshunds? Because they wanted to get a long little doggy. All right. If I stop, I want to see if he'll stop. I want him to learn to synchronize with me. If I go, then I want you to see how I'm doing this. That's why I've got such a long rope. And I got those gloves on so I can let that rope slide through my hand, recoil it. So now, see if he'll let me touch him with this carrot stick. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna walk away from him, not just walk up to him and say, let me touch you with this. I'm gonna see if he will follow me while I've got this in my hand, again, using retreat and approach. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna walk down his side with my stick in my right hand on his right side, so we can see right there. He lost some confidence. I change hands, put my stick in my left hand for his left side. And we can see he's already apprehensive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change tools, because he tells me that he needs more long body logic. So what I'm gonna do is lengthen my body here, see if I can get him more confident from farther away. I'm gonna extend this out here. This is 12 more feet, plus my arm is 2.5 feet. So now let's see if we can walk backwards. I can do something. You can see there he's apprehensive, that rope there where it has a coil that got wadded up there. That didn't work out so good. Gonna get that straightened out.
He's very aware.
He's very aware, which is a great thing, because
yes,
horses that are aware, that are perceptive to danger, people's places, changes, and things, will also become aware
yes,
to our cues and communication. And the jump. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is work on rapport. Okay, I'm just gonna see if he can be confident and like me and like what I do. And then I'm gonna ask him to respect what I do. All right, what I ask of him. I'm just gonna use this stick for boundaries, and I can put it on one side then the other. Confidence, acceptance, understanding, results. Ronnie Willis taught me that. Confidence, acceptance, understanding, results. Confidence, acceptance, understanding, results. First thing he wants to do is go to his second instinct, which is fly from fear, okay? But he doesn't really feel like he wants to go somewhere, all right? Like he wants to move around, but he doesn't seem like he wants to run over there. Maybe as we start to investigate and see what personality is, we might find out that he's more introverted, but we'll find out. We'll just allow him here to do different things, and I want him to tell us his story. So I'm gonna allow that rope to drift if he wants to go around the barrels on this side.
yes.
All right. I can feel his tension, and at the same time, he doesn't really want to go forward, but when he does it with, you know, some energy, kind of, but it's a worried energy. So what we're looking for is rhythm, relaxation, and understanding. And so one of the things I think where a lot of people don't realize they're doing something dysfunctional with their horse is that they constantly are chasing the horse with the whip versus allowing the horse to go around. And now I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna see if I can set it up where he goes around here and can look at each one of these confidence obstacles with each eye. There, he's gonna look at the barrels with his left eye. Now he's looking at the blue one with his right eye. Now I'm gonna ask him to go around on this side of the green one with his right eye. So you see how he looked at it there. Again, this one with his left eye, that one with his right eye. And I'm not asking him to run.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if I can get him to go around this tarp on the left. Looking at this, I'm just gonna kind of guide this around, looking at the barrels now on this side, go around the tarp on that side. Now I'm gonna see if he'll put his nose on the barrel. I'm not gonna drive him, I'm just gonna allow that forward momentum. I got a lot of tension on this rope. Let's see what we got. All right, so I want him to have the feeling he can come back to me anytime. I want him to have the feeling that we're not gonna ever push him toward an obstacle or on an obstacle or to jump an obstacle or anything, but to give him an opportunity to use his brain to make the change that we're looking for. There we go. In order to do that, we've got to make sure that the chemistry that's in his body, because he's got his adrenaline up, we need to make sure that we're getting the confidence endorphins like serotonin and dopamine, not the skeptical ones, which would be the cortisol levels.
Makes sense.
Good. So whenever a horse gets their adrenaline and their cortisol levels up, then my little saying is when they act like an ass, let them eat grass. And this starts immediately getting the horse to go, oh, I thought I was supposed to be worried. It's time to eat. Okay? What I see is more of an introverted type of a horse, and he feels a little bit on the right brain side. So let's go over here and try something else. I call these herding sticks. Lots of tension here, pulling on me pretty hard. There we go. I want him to seek relief. Let's see if he'll get curious. Seeing this saddle over here.
Yes.
Curiosity and confidence. Curiosity there. I like that. Now I'm gonna ask him to go between me and this tarp. some way, somewhere, somehow. Got some trucks going behind us. We got all kinds of situations here in our environment. Going over there, I'm gonna put a boundary there. Let's go around it. Let's see if we can go around that tarp. I like the fact that he got curious about that saddle stand and that saddle. And then, you know, I want him to feel like, oh, this guy's got some interesting things, but he's not making me feel like I've got to do anything. I like how he's starting to check in with me. Let's go around the barrels. That's already closer. Almost every jumping horse trainer, except for you, that I've talked to, seems to have an approach of, if I point you toward a jump, you're going to jump it. And yet I've seen many horses tell the trainer, you jump it. They duck out and go right or left.
Yes.
Good. Now there's some curiosity. There's some confidence, that he has confidence enough to eat right next to the thing that he's afraid of. He might get curious enough to smell it. There it comes. Whether it's confidence and curiosity or curiosity and confidence, we need him to think that this is fun, because horses have 3 motivating factors. They want safety, comfort, and play. So what I want him to do is get into the idea that we're gonna play, oh boy, we're gonna play with some of these confidence obstacles instead of oh no, all right? So this is all getting better to me.
And I would say that spot right there is what they were having a hard time with.
Exactly, all right? And he kind of pushes through the boundaries here and there, leans on this rope quite a bit, but it's getting better. His confidence is getting better, being able to look at things out of both eyes. Now I'm gonna go back over here to the tarp, and we have a little saying, nose, neck, maybe the feet. And if a horse will stick his nose over a jump, usually if he's got any momentum, the rest of it's coming.
Yes.
Okay? But if he stops his nose 2 strides out, that's the end of it.
I've learned that a time or two.
So have I, unfortunately. And I'm not made out of rubber anymore. So I'm liking a lot of things here. He's starting to realize there's boundaries. He's starting to realize I've got something in mind. I'm gonna ask him to come over here. That's it. Just reel him in. How you going, buddy? There we go. Now I'm just gonna hold right here. You see me, I'm not pulling, I'm just holding. But the moment he comes off that,
Yes.
I release, and then that took quite a bit.
Yes.
I'd say probably 40 pounds of leaning pressure, steady pressure for him to cut. He leaned against it when I gave it 40 pounds and 4 ounces.
You went ounces.
I just found a spot. Okay. Now again, let's see if he's more confident about being able to touch him from behind.
Yes.
To see if all of these things have helped him understand that my long body logic is pretty good. All right. Now I'm gonna put some space between the barrels, see if I can't ask him to go between those barrels. This is a really nice horse. We just kind of got ahead of him here or there because our ambition to win something probably got ahead of the principles, the patience, and the sequence of learning, all right? Maybe a little bigger. Let's widen that gap. Let's see if we can ask him to go between those barrels. So I want him to squeeze between me and these barrels, because he's got his nose and his neck on the other side of these barrels. And now he's eating in between the barrels. Confidence and curiosity, or curiosity and confidence, either one is fine by me. Good. Okay, now let's do some retreat. Let's go backwards. Let's go back. We haven't really worked on backwards much. Let's go backwards a little bit. Go backwards. There we go. And again, I don't want to spook him through there. I don't want to swoosh him. I want him to go, I think I should walk through here. But see, that's where he didn't do it with rhythm, relaxation, and understanding, with confidence. He did it, and that was okay. So the score would be pretty good for that. But let's see if we can't get the second time to get a higher score. I'm liking that. That's better. Now there's rhythm, relaxation, and understanding. I like that. Now this is going this direction. It's going to be interesting here in a moment when we ask him to go back the other way.
Change the eye.
Exactly. There's a boundary there. There's a boundary. There's a boundary. There's a boundary with the rope, a boundary with that herding stick. Let's move away from it. I'm over here on this side. No, there's a boundary there. I wouldn't go over here. I would go over there. All I want to do is put his nose into the situation. That's the boundary there. He said, oh, I ain't going through that. You know what I think he's saying? Get on the other side of me, Pat. If you get on the left side of me, I'll be glad to go through that.
Yes.
But when we ride him, we got to be on both sides of him. You know what I think
Correct.
he's saying? I want him to put his nose down. There
Yep.
we go. I can't make him do it, but I can set it up in a situation where that might be the logical thing to do. Let's back up a little bit. Let's reapproach. And this is the left brain part of him here. The why should I do this? And you and who else? And he didn't know I had a 45-foot rope and a 12-foot stick. There we go. Good.
And you gave the release because he touched it, right?
Yes, he touched the barrel with his foot, and I gave him the release. That's how he will learn.
Yeah.
And the game is to help him think that this is fun, because horses will run faster and jump higher out of heart and desire. Now, I'm going to add some energy behind his withers and see if I can't make him a little uncomfortable.
Yep.
There.
There. Nice.
And now he's going to go, now what? I'm going to say, now, do whatever you want. You got on this side over here. So now let's see what we got. We're going to allow that forward movement again. I want him to feel like he's got lots and lots of options. I'm almost at the end of my rope here. And just the fact that he's moving forward. Ah, there. Now,
he's yielding.
Respect. So I'm going to put a little draw on this. I'm going to see if he understands and is going to give me willingness and try to go through that gap. Or is he going to try put effort into not? See how little it takes. See, he'd like to go over there because he's used to seeing me out of that eye. There we go. Confidence or curiosity, doesn't matter to me. I'm going to try to touch him behind the withers because the withers is the drive line. Everything behind the withers, if a horse is respectful and understanding, should cause him to go forward. One of my favorite concepts to get people to have an aha moment is telling them and teaching them about the drive line. So at the break of the withers, everything in front of that, if the horse responds with respect and understanding, should cause them to either slow down or turn. Pressure behind the drive line should cause the horse to go forward or to yield his hindquarters away, turn and face. But it only happens when they are in a responsive modality and they're not reacting. They're not afraid of having something behind them. So the first thing we need to do is get his confidence, and then what we got to do is get them to respond with respect without fear. Everything in front should slow them down or turn them. I say the word should. A horse doesn't act like a partner, then they'll do whatever. There it is. Good on you, mate. You see how my hand is open? So he goes over here and doesn't feel a big jerk on the other side of his head because, like, now don't get away from me.
Yes.
What I'm finding, his story is he's not confident with the human on the right side of him.
Like just there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what we're looking for. In order to be a great puzzle solver, we have to isolate, separate, and recombine. And with Harley, we went right back to our starting program, which is accept the human, accept the saddle, accept the rider, and then accept the bit for steering. So what we did first was it got him to understand that I wasn't going to make him do anything going through the barrels or over the barrels. I was going to play with him until it was his idea, number one. Number two, we did the same thing by putting the saddle on and seeing how he responded or reacted to that big Western saddle with all those moving parts and a back cinch. Because you got to remember, a lot of jumping horse riders, their legs are moving way back there where the back cinch goes. Then accepting the rider. And then accepting the bit for refinement of communication. So it's just a natural progression, being able to get their confidence, their acceptance, so they have true understanding.
I had Harley reapproach the barrels, this time wearing a saddle. And then I asked Harley to go between the barrels again, on his good side. Expect a lot, accept a little, and reward often. That's the magic formula for horses. Now I have to make sure Harley can go through the barrels on his not-so-good side. That took a little more time and patience. I led Harley between the barrels until it became his idea to do it with rhythm, relaxation, and understanding. And the crowd goes wild.
The reasons they don't do what we want is because either fear, they don't understand, or it's disrespect. And what I'm feeling here is that there's a little bit of disrespect in it that he pushes on pressure.
Yes.
Where we started. So retreating doesn't just mean go away, it means slow down, it can mean stop, it can mean back up. So this is our little confidence course, including our tools.
Can I ask another question?
All the questions you want.
He hadn't quite gone through the barrels yet, but he was close to them. And he was standing there good, and then you'd have him back up a couple of steps.
That's the retreat.
Okay.
And then reapproach.
Yep, good.
These things that we're doing, whether it's going to this obstacle, that obstacle, the other, it's all about him trusting and getting confidence in the fact that I'm going to give him several chances, several ways, a lot of time, whatever time it takes.
Yes.
And all of those things so that he gets really good. Before I showed up, because I know Candace so well for so long, I knew that this horse did not want to go over the jumps. His heart wasn't into it. He was shutting down because he felt like he was being made to do it. Not by Candace, she had just gotten the horse, by the traditional way of training horses. So this is where using communication, understanding, and psychology causes our ideas to become their ideas. And once it's their ideas and they're confident, they will put their heart into it. And again, horses will run faster and jump higher out of heart and desire. Harley was the proof. Why don't you tell me what your thoughts are after today?
I just really enjoyed watching the progression from start to finish and where you left him at the end of the day, because he was a much more confident horse within himself and trusting of you.
I can only imagine what it would take to ride him when he gets scared.
Yes. Yes.
Holy smokes. If they don't have some self-control, there's no bit in the world can control a horse's emotions.
No. What would be your next step the next day, like from where we finished?
You know, again, there's 3 reasons why horses don't do what we want. And it can be 1, 2, or all 3 of these reasons. 1 is they don't understand. 2 is they're scared. And 3 is they're disrespectful. And there was elements of all 3 of those.
100%.
So I like to think of it like this. I want a horse to learn to give, yield, and turn loose. But a lot of horses learn to take over, take off, and take advantage of.
Yes.
So they're either giving or they're taking. Giving can weigh pounds, yielding can weigh ounces, but turning loose, no more than a thought. What I would do with him is not only play with him more like what we did today, and 4 to 7 times in a row. That's it.
Yes.
We got to stay on a theme. We got to
Yes.
stay consistent. Get him to where maybe that green ball is, you know, where he could accept
Interactive.
it. Yeah, interact with it and push it around and stuff. Get it to where you can put it on him. I feel like there's something there that has never been addressed. Okay?
Yes.
The other thing I would do is I would play with him more at liberty too.
Okay.
Get him to where he yields to and from at liberty another horse. Not just lunging around in a circle, but literally moving, sticking with, following, jumping jumps when the other horse jumps, and get them to where he has to act like a partner, like he did when he was a baby.
With his mother.
That'd be my prescription. That's my specialty. Your specialty is putting the icing on these horses and working with these
Yes.
young, talented riders and helping them there. So I'd love to help you out with that.
I would appreciate that, and that would mean a lot
Good.
to me. That's why
Professional
thank you.
I think it's a very savvy thing that you've done, and tickles me to death to be able to help another horse and then help you and help the people that own them. And I want to see the fairy tale ending.
Thank you very much.